Hey there everybody, welcome back to another Maladum themed video. This is just continuing the sort of unboxings of everything that I've got my hands on. So next up I'm going to give you a look at the Fantasy Dungeon Terrain Kickstarter edition. So it's got some extra stuff in it. So let's get going and open it up. Okay, so this is a really meaty box. It is pretty heavy in its own right, and I'll imagine that there's absolutely buckets of stuff in here. So we're starting off with another terrain mat. Like I said, definitely a good way of, definitely a good investment, because you can make the double-sized maps. In this brown envelope here is all the some extra clips. Obviously all the clips you need, probably 2 or 3 packs I'd imagine. And here we have all the actual terrain. There's a real heap of it here. Let's check this out, because like I say, it really is a big pile of cardboard. Whoa. Okay, so let's get into it. So like I say, I can basically show you all the terrain, or probably a good chunk of it, just from having this box here. So this is one of the Dungeon Wall sets. So one of the new things that these guys do in comparison to the previous 2 sets is that the doors are on a hinge, so they actually open and close this time, and you don't have to remove them. That's really cool. And then obviously we've got various types of walls here. Struts, it tells you what they are kind of on the actual sheet. You can see it says ruined wall topper there. These things go on top of the walls to give you some texture. And obviously I think you get 3 or 4 of these in your basic set. Then we have dungeon archways. So there's 2 of these, and these give you your braziers and your arches, another door, some pillars, and some arches, some large arches. And like I say, you get 2 of those. Then we have the dungeon entrance, and you get 2 of these, and these are kind of like grand entrances. So you have like double doors, and I think you get a stone staircase on here too, and also a throne, so that's kind of cool. Then we have dungeon walkways. You get 1 sheet of these, and this is your rope bridge and the various walkways and a couple of ladders. Then we have 2 ruined towers. So these are various ruined walls, struts, small walkways, an angled walkway, walls, and a font, and also some wall toppers as well. So this is high density cardboard. It's really tough. I've never had any of my Core Space stuff. I've had the odd little tear here and there, but I've never actually had any of my terrain ruined yet. It's all still 100% usable. So here we have the next sheet, Dungeon Accessories. It looks like you get 2 of those. So here we have another double doors. We have some walls, some steps, another brazier, some vine struts, some ruined archways, and a platform wall. So that's kind of cool. Get 2 of those. Then we have Dungeon Accessories 2. So this is a ladder, a 2 types of sort of dungeon machinery. So we have a kind of like a portcullis-esque type wheel, or cogwheel that you obviously rotate to lift or lower the gate. And then we also have a well and possibly a switch, sort of like a single switch as well, or is that part of the main wheel? I'm not sure, but possibly you get a sort of a switch as well. So that's just one sheet of that. I think obviously you actually get. I think this particular piece is also, some of these bits are also going to be available in your original box set as well. So you actually do get like extra of them, even though you don't get extra in this particular box. Next up is scaffolding. This is a large and a small set of stairs that are kind of scaffolded together, and you get two of those. All good for building up your multi-levels, which is again something that I have very little experience with, because most of the I haven't really messed around with Firstborn Terrain because it's still all in its boxes. But Core Space, there's only one set that I've used where I've actually built like an extra floor, and that was Zed's Bar. That has an office above the sort of bar entrance, and also I have the City Terrain, so that comes with a lot of 2-story buildings that have upstairs as well. To tell the truth, I was never really 100% sure if I built those correctly. They did seem to function, although maybe not 100% perfectly. So here we have the main rope bridge, and I think you also get a part of Rowan Bridge as well on here. So that is the rope bridge set. Then we have furniture. So this is stuff like cog levers, chests, bookcases, a tomb, a fireplace, a table, chairs, a bookcase, books, and a weapon rack, and all sorts of little bits of accessories and stuff. So you get, looks like you get 2 of those. Then we have, I think this is going into Kickstarter stuff now, but I could be wrong. Here is Crypts and Caverns upgrade pack. So presumably this is upgrade stuff. Looks like you get 2. Well, you only get one of these sheets actually. So you get a floor, so a large floor for an upper level, and you get various bits of debris and some kind of ruined wall bits and pieces by the looks of it. So that's that. Then we have the Dungeon Upgrade Pack 2. This has a gargoyle, some more floor plates, plinths, treasure chests, and some wall toppers, and bits and pieces like that. Pretty decent. It looks like you get 2 of those. Then we have the Dungeon Upgrade Pack 3, and this has like some hanging furs, some half doors, and some like a portal wall, and it's also got a carrier as well down the bottom here. So you can see that they always try and stuff as much stuff as possible onto a sheet, so you always get the maximum amount of terrain that'll fit. And actually, I'm just going to swap these. Turn them the right way around. There we go. Then we have Upgrade Pack 4. So this has, so it's got some hidden locations. It's got like an alcove, some shelving, scatter, books, chairs, and a gargoyle as well. So that's kind of cool. Then we have Upgrade Pack 5, or Sheet 5. And this has hidden passages, a forge, portcullis, bits of a hidden passage, stuff like that. Looks pretty cool. Then we have a Dungeon Upgrade Pack 6. This has a strong room with a sort of a vault door, and then you get things like tapestries, artwork, piles of coins, balcony, various switches, a couple of weapons, and some tapestries hang on the wall. So it's kind of cool, kind of like a sort of a vault. That'd be really cool. Then we have a dungeon Bastille. That's really cool. I always like doing adventures where you have to rescue people. So that's definitely cool that you get some dungeon stuff. This kind of looks like a sort of a palisade. So like a prison yard type thing. Looks like you get some stocks, a cage, a torture stuff. That's just like a torture chamber. That's really cool. And it looks like there's a second part to that as well. So it looks like you get some hanging chains, an alarm bell. That's cool. More sort of prison-y bits, cages. Really cool. I could imagine, if you have an adventure where, perhaps 1 or 2 of your adventures went down, and you had to sort of leave them. You could come back and do like a rescue mission, where they're kind of in like a sort of a prison level. Again, more stuff to do with cells, cages, and sort of prisons and torture. Looks like we've got bunks, stocks, more stocks, chains, dungeon walls. Very cool. Buckets. Then we have garrison barracks. So that's kind of cool. You can have like a barracks building. And obviously this opens itself up to using some other miniatures as well as using like the undead. the original enemies. And of course you could always have the classic like the Purge, where there might be a physical sort of human based army, but at the same time that those sort of malevolents are you can basically include those as well as kind of like a sort of a plague spreading through the area, taking over all the dungeons. So you have like a three-way battle where you have like human enemies as well as malevolent coming onto the board as well. That would be pretty nasty. And then we've got a couple of sheets left. So we have Garrison Barracks 2. Again, kind of semi-dungeon based, but obviously things like weapons racks, beds, small crates, maps, a latrine. That's kind of cool. And some extra weapons and stuff. That's really cool. And then finally, we have a wine cellar. So you get obviously wine cellar type things. So barrels, tables, wine rack, table. Oh yeah, said that already. And of course doors. So double doors into the tavern. That's really cool. And that is the end of the dungeon pack. So a real mountain of terrain in that particular pack. So let's get that back into its box. So you can actually get it into its box. There we go. And then the board and the mat, or the clips and the mat rather. And lid back on, and that is the end of this particular video. So join me again for the next unboxing of this really cool Maladum Kickstarter. Catch you in a second.